Gentlemen, how we doing? Welcome back to day 11 of our rapid speed run to the ELO rating of 2000 on chess.com. We are jumping into a game against fellow 1200 rated Andretti LLD2, and he goes e4, we go c5. He brings the knight to f3, and we are going to bring our knight to c6. Standard Sicilian opening. So he brings his bishop here. A lot of times players have like these nasty combinations on the f2 or the f7 rather pawn. And since that's the case, I'm just going to play e6 and block it off. By the way, I believe our opponent is from Romania, and he develops his second knight. So I'm thinking we can play this now. If he plays e5, if he plays e5, we would have gone here and tried to attack, but he doesn't. Now he could probably pin us soon. We could come here, which is probably what I'm going to do. Notice it's all protected. My cat is back in the room again, guys, but she will be exiting now. So his bishop's under attack. He could always check us here. We just block and then castle. Pretty standard Sicilian. Okay, he pins us down, and that makes this kind of scary. So I actually want to play this, preventing this move, which would be adding pressure to our pin knight. And now before he can get the rook, let's just castle out of the way. Another move, I might want to play h6, block this off. And right now, Andre has played a completely fine game. Definitely no weaknesses, but we don't have weaknesses either. Time advantage. Well, time is basically even on both sides. Okay, and he reroutes his knight to e2, probably aiming for g3. Classic idea I'm going to try now is hitting his knight. And the thing is, if he just tried to kick us right away, we would take it, and then his pawn structure would be messed up. On top of that, if he plays this, which he does, now we can add some pretty scary pressure to him, which is through this move. So if we move our knight to d4, first and foremost, we're hitting his bishop. So that's probably his priority. He's going to have to move his bishop back here. On top of that, once he moves his bishop back here, we have two attackers on here. And that's very annoying for him to deal with. So I think this is the move. Of course, he cannot take here because we would win his queen. So he has to consider this. The only move he really has here is this. And the question is, do we want to take it? Okay, so he freaks out and blunders massively, because not only do we just take there for starters, we're hitting his queen, he'll still have to jack up his pawns, and then we can still get his bishop. That's probably a resign, honestly. Okay, so before I just pick up the piece, I just want to look around. This is obviously not available. No. There's nothing over here, so let's just take the piece. And we are up a piece. Just like that. We can now try to get our queen in. So even though we are up a piece, it doesn't mean it's game over. So let's try our best to keep the punishments coming. So he just kind of walked into this pin. So funnily enough, if I played this move, he couldn't take it. So let's actually do that. He obviously cannot take this because it's pinned. So we're utilizing tactical positions such as pins to our advantage. Okay, so now he unpins it, of course, but we could get this pawn for free. We have 2 attackers on it. He has 1 defender. And I think I will take it with the knight because now I want to come here and I want to hit his h3 pawn, which is what my plan is going to be. So we're now hitting this. He could defend it with his queen, I suppose. Or he takes like that and defends. Fair. Okay. His knight is still pinned. Okay, he hits our bishop, but it's obviously protected. He hits this pawn. I don't want to take because then he takes back here and his pawn structure is safe again. I'm thinking, what if we do this? We sack the pawn. I don't see any good follow-up though, so maybe we just very casually take a timeout and just play this move and protect the pawn. There's really no rush. There's really no rush. Okay, he's playing very quickly. Now is a good time to continue bringing pieces forward. So let's bring our knight in now. Now we don't even have to worry about that. It's protected. Our knight is active. And of course, make sure to stay after the game. We're going to go through the moves and we'll see what my accuracy was. All right. So he obviously offers the queen trade, which is not bad for us. We can just keep it simple and accept it, I think. So takes. We have a check, maybe. We could also even take the knight first. Don't want to give the check first, though, because then he would just take it. So maybe we can just take... It really doesn't matter. I'm definitely... This is not necessary, so let's just do this. Okay, he takes back like that, which I guess was his only option. But now we can add more pressure. Instead of giving the check, the knight is literally still pinned. So we can add more pressure to that pin. The check, he would just probably drop back and does nothing. So let's add more pressure to the pin. And at the end of the day, I think we'll have a bishop and a pawn for free. And his pawn structure will be jacked up. So I like it. Okay, he resigns. All right, 22 move victory. Not too bad. Let's take a look at how we played, where we could have played better moves. Our accuracy score was 95.8. So we didn't really make any big mistakes, but let's go through it. As we saw, this is a standard Sicilian, and I like playing e6 move, just instantly rule out any shenanigans. Okay. Pretty much just standard principles, just bringing my pieces out, trying to fight for the center. Takes. This move, I played it, as I said, to prevent this knight jump. So I just did that. He castles, we castle. This move, I felt like it was weird because of our follow-up of this and this. So that was good. That was good. And yeah, like here, what was his best move? I don't even know. Maybe like literally dropping this back. His best move might have been. So, oh, taking red away. Yeah, true. Makes sense. We get that. And now he freaked out. He didn't know how to handle it. But I think his best move here was this. And then we had this. And we had, if he went here, this was getting trapped anyway, literally. Then again. Yeah, then again, maybe not. Because this is now loose. But, okay, let's not get too distracted. That's not what ended up happening. We took here. That was also, it says it's a great move, but it was obvious because I wanted to keep my knight attached. We get the piece for free. And then, yeah, I started just piling up on the pin piece. He gives us a pawn for free. It's pinned again. I'm glad this was the best move. It's a little bit subtle, but we got it. Bring the knight in was the best move. Taking was apparently the best. Adding to the pin again. And now he decided to resign. I was probably just going to move right here and just torture him. These pawns would be stuck for eternity. His king can't move. We could trade the rooks. So this was probably my next move. And then he probably would have done like this, and we just trade a pair of rooks or whatever. Something like this, and start coming to the center. So that was a pretty smooth game. As always, guys, feel free to subscribe. We are now 1264s. We are 11-0 on the speed run. Of course, things are gonna get harder. So be sure to follow along for the journey. And I'll talk to you guys in tomorrow's video. As always, thank you for watching, and peace out.